Work this out.
Says,
Did we do November and December last year?
Is it pictures of,
just pictures of
I can't remember.
native plants there, there's only 50.
I mean, November seems like it should work out just fine.
Yes, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and December, it should also, because it's, okay, so August through December.
Okay. Russell said he couldn't be here today, and then Damon said that he was probably working late, so
Okay,
he might be here.
okay.
is this it? June?
Yeah, June, 14 June, there you are, okay.
Nice pictures.
Okay, anybody recognize that? That's St. John's wort.
Nice.
Oh,
One of the species is native around here.
Oh, wow.
that's pretty.
And this is a species that concerned because it's a native milkweed, Asclepias hyrtilla. And you can see in the background, I'm pretty far out there from the actual drive-in building. This is a native orchid,
Oh, wow.
Wow.
and
Cool.
they're only about this tall.
Hmm.
And it's hard to get a good picture of them, but
Oh, that's really small.
they're, and this is
Okay, sorry.
field milkwort. And it's a tiny Polygala family member. And I forgot exactly, I looked this up 3 weeks ago, last time I was out there, I guess. Anyway, that's a nice coneflower style picture. I don't know if we call it coneflower. Okay, these are, you recognize these?
I call him.
Is that a sweet pea of sorts?
Lobelia.
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 Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
And now we're back to the main focus, the hyrtilla. There are thousands of hyrtillas, and you can,
I see them.
in the background, you can see here now the, what are the red things called, somebody?
Thistle?
Mm-hmm.
No, they're spiky balls. It's like, and the whole stem is spiky, and they look like those lamps with the fiber optic tips.
I guess I called those.
Is that what-
Probably wrongfully so.
Can you see the name on
And
the flower?
I looked them up recently, but I can't remember what they are either.
No.
I'm just 76 and a half, and I forget the names. Every year, I go through the books over and over to look up the ones I looked at last week.
Yeah. Is that the,
That's another of the orchids.
orchid?
And it's hard to focus on that tiny stem thing.
But they all spiral around like that?
Yes, the ones that grow this time of year, there are 4 species of this particular type of thing. It's called lady's tress, is what another one of the names.
Ladies' tress.
Tresses, yeah. Okay, so anyway, the sensitive briar is what the red thing is, yeah. And by the way, I just thought about it, I have on my Hawaii hat. And sensitive briar grows on the Big Island. I found it quite a few places.
Wow.
Along with all the thousands of big orchids, you know, all this stuff. Anyway, there's a solitary bee. You may know what that means. That means it's not a honeybee, it's an American native bee. And this is the milkweed we want to protect. Now, you noticed in the background that most of the hyrtilla is not in bloom yet. And this is what happened last year. They came and mowed it a bit early. And after we had, you guys had made a deal with them.
We begged them.
Begged them. Well,
And the sensitive briar is
so,
a
you
mimosa.
know,
I personally
Mimosa microphylla.
I personally would pay the people that get the hay not to cut the hay and leave it until wintertime and take if they want to. But they were too early last year, and it, you know. But the main thing is that for all the folks in America, and we've got some committees on other committees and, city government that's working with the, monarch protection plan, and monarchs just aren't gonna come back if we don't have more milkweed everywhere, all over the country. Because, you know, they travel all the way in generations to Canada and back, and all go to Mexico through this part of the country. In California, they go down into lower, what's south, just slightly south part of California, lower.
Yeah.
So we can have an effect, potentially, each of those tall plants, they're about 9 feet, well, 6 to, sometimes 9 feet, but around 6 foot, so. They,
Those milkweed,
yes, the milkweed,
large,
and
big.
that, they, out there, it's not raining anymore, it'd be easy to mow right now, so I just hope that they're not thinking, oh, let's go take it out. Because it's not even something good for hay.
Yeah, Aubrey, thank you for keeping an eye on.
Thank you for that.
on
Where is
the
it?
drive-ins.
112
Drive-In, there's several fields right next to
I
it.
drive by
Yeah.
there all the time.
And so last year Aubrey brought up that there were these special species out there. And so we wrote a letter and met with the 112 drive-in owners,
Managers, yeah,
managers, and asked them to,
not mow it.
yeah, to just mow once.
Once in the
fall,
winter.
Or, yeah.
Deep in the winter, preferably. Early in the
They
spring.
They said they would, but then they did, but since it's private ownership and it's not
Right, and
anything we do, it was just an ask, you cannot, there's nothing.
Right, and it's hard to say that the mowers weren't just scheduled and just, you know, maybe they were like,
Yeah.
sure, that sounds good, and then just didn't
We
get in
also
touch
kinda-
with the.
We kind of outlined where it would be ideal for them not to mow in general, so maybe they'll do that.
Maybe
this
they
year.
didn't go back the same way because it was mostly mowed. I didn't go all the way over by the creek, but what we would like is people to go to that drive-in just to look at the monarchs in the late fall. I mean, it's what counts the most are the milkweed plants in our area in November. First week of December, I've seen them fly for the first time. So, you know, it's the way the climate's going, it seems to be getting winters a little shorter. And we saw this year it was quite wetter. But anyway, this land's drying up, and those roots are very deep. You try to dig milkweed root, and quite often it just extends to the next plant.
Yeah.
And you don't know, well, is this enough for it to survive? But anyway, that's what I want to work on again, and I'll be happy to work with you guys and see what we can do.
Okay.
When we made the deal for Pinnacle Prairie with Pinnacle Foods, it was about 7 years ago. I was on the Environmental Action Committee, and at least this many people went, including the mayor, to Pinnacle and gave them a plaque because they had already gone with us on the not mowing thing. And they've got that on the wall still out there in the main hall. And they stayed with it. Not quite like this past winter, they went in right early in November, but it still worked out. It's all coming back. And it's a treasure out there too. Each of these prairie spots around town will have a certain different mix of native plants. And it's amazing from one to the other in the time of bloom for some of the plants in different places. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really nice, thank you.
So, we now need to set up our next quarter's event, talks for non-invasive species and native species. So we need, to decide who will do August, September, October, November, and December. So I'll do August.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll do September.
Okay,
I'll do October.
alright.
November, and so Russell or Damon will be chosen to do,
Okay.
or they will volunteer to do December.
July, we're not meeting. I mean, we're meeting, but we're
What's the
not meeting
competition?
first. Oh, that's right, okay, so July will be meeting.
Okay, so,
Tour.
Madam Chair,
yes, sir.
I would like to request to revisit an item, the approval of the minutes.
Okay.
I've been thinking about it, it fits with my memory.
Okay.
If the board would, be interested, I'd be willing to go ahead and approve them. But it's,
No, we've decided, we'll.
if you all
we'll
care
in
to,
action.
to revisit that agenda item, it'd be okay with me, so, just a request on the agenda, sorry.
No, that's okay. If, we can revisit. Yeah, I mean, if this gets it off the table, I'm ready,
I'd like to go ahead.
Okay,
okay?
You don't have to revisit.
I mean, it is interesting to go back and watch the meeting
Oh,
minutes.
I don't
Watch
want
yourself
to ever
speak.
have
It's
to do
really-
It's not.
that, ever have, so.
It could be slow.
It's helpful though.
If,
would you like to make a
I'll
motion?
make a motion that we approve the minutes from May, so if,
Okay,
I second that emotion.
all in favor?
Third,
Aye.
motion. Sorry,
Motion carried. Next,
thank you.
you did say motion.
okay. Let's see, my glasses.
That's with the verbiage added from.
The way John showed us, yep.
Correct.
Okay.
I put that. in the ready.
Yep.
You can copy and paste this later.
This is exactly what I'm gonna do, okay.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, okay.
Sorry.
Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is, the landscape competition. Oh, attendance what does number 4 say, attendance reminder?
Attendance
Yeah,
reminder.
okay, so we were reminded by our city clerk to remind all the boards of the attendance reminder. So I'm gonna do that today. Just go to the internet. And I'm gonna pull it up in code so you can see what it looks like. Pretty straightforward. Spoiler alert, you have to make it to 70% of all the meetings in 12 months. So,
Instead of muni code, can we just stick with that? I don't know where it's at, like.
That'll be
that's okay. Well, here.
50 is 6, so that's about
If
7.
You just type
About
Unicode, or what I do at home.
MUNI. Yeah.
And that's to stay on the board.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, let me go down there. Do it that way. I don't know why it's in there like that, but
Yeah, under ordinances.
yeah. Well, we could just, I can find it. Have you all used Muni Code before?
Yes.
This is all of our ordinances.
So awesome. Oh my gosh.
So it's under Title 3. Get all these out. Sorry, this mouse is at a little bit different speed than my mouse at my computer.
Your
Okay,
house
it's under
mouse?
Chapter 33, and then Article XX. Okay.
That's probably at XXI.
Well, some
Rules of
conduct makes
conduct.
sense.
XXI.
So attendance requirements, right
Okay.
here. Any citizen, volunteer, or any city board, commission, or committee who fails to attend at least 70% of all meetings of that committee within a 12-month period of service shall be deemed to have resigned from the board, commission, or committee, and that person's position shall be deemed vacant. So, now you've been informed.
Okay, thank you very much. We
No
will
problem.
keep that in mind. I'd like to point out that at the meetings, the attendance is usually 100%. There may be members who come in a little late, but usually everybody's here.
Yeah,
Which is, I think, a great accomplishment.
I agree. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here.
That 70% allows, is that 3 3? Adam
Two.
says it's 3.
Yeah, I did some math here.
It's just two.
70 over 100 and x over 12 equals 8.4.
I'm glad you figured that out. I was like, what is 70%
Yeah,
of 12?
10 minus 8.4 is 1.6, so that's 2 meetings.
Okay,
That's great.
all right.
Yeah.
1.6 meetings we can miss, okay? All right. Next on the agenda is the landscape competition.
Okay, so Glenda, we were talking about this a little bit before the meeting started, but the judges, we met with the judges last week on Wednesday for lunch, and let's see, we have 4 female judges, Jennifer Ogle, Demi Reynolds, Jessica Sumner, and Janet Flackus. So they have been touring the gardens over the last week. They've got from the 8th to the 19th. I'm sorry, I think it's the 21st. That's a Monday. Normally things are due on Friday, you know, but because this is a tour, you might want to do it on the weekend. So anyway, Monday they'll get their rubrics to me, and then I'll tally up the scores. And then on the 26th, the press release will go out saying who won.
How many applications did we have?
We had 6 commercial applications
Wow.
and 2 residential.
Only 2?
Yeah, only 2.
I thought we'd have, yeah, it's usually more residential than commercial.
We
but-
really
but that's-
struggled and, you know, I think a lot of the commercial ones, we hand delivered and asked them personally to enter the contest. And, you know, in the future, we need to even consider if we're gonna do this competition, because it's more staff trying to find people to
But
do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And if that's the case, then I'm
There
not
might be
sure
another
that,
way we can celebrate
Yeah,
what we're
doing,
celebrating
That-
with the.
Gardens,
it's
yeah.
something we need to really consider,
consider,
moving forward
Yeah.
with this, because it wasn't
Maybe
as
we should-
successful.
Yeah, maybe we should brainstorm on that in August meeting.
Mhm.
Just recap how it went, and then maybe brainstorm for some new ideas for next year. Okay.
Well, I told Jumpsuit Jamie about it, but it was too late for him to get in.
Oh.
He's got one to die for, so. Mostly native plants.
oh,
And
Yeah,
native,
look
and a
at
few
my
native
yard.
cultivars.
I think, oh, I could do my yard, and then I see invasive species.
Right.
It's like a snake habitat.
Sounds like my yard.
Not gonna work. Someday.
yeah,